This module introduces you to longitudinal data. In contrast to cross-sectional surveys that collect data at one point in time, longitudinal data are drawn from surveys that follow respondents over time. The same group of people are interviewed at several time points, known as measurement occasions. Accordingly, a picture is built showing how people's lives change over time. There are two main types of longitudinal studies: panel studies and cohort studies. Panel studies collect information from panel members at regular intervals called waves. The waves tend to be relatively frequent, with frequency driven by design requirements. So, for example, an election study might survey people many times during an election year to see how their views change. One major panel study is the British Household Panel Study, or BHPS. There were 18 waves. Panel members were interviewed first in 1990 to 91, and the same members were interviewed each year until 2008 to 9. The BHPS is a household panel that gathers information on all persons living in the household of a panel member at each time point. Researchers get a detailed picture of whole households and the dynamics between household members. These household panels exist in a number of countries. Germany has the socio-economic panel. There's the Household Income and Labour Dynamics in Australia survey, and the Panel Study of Income Dynamics in the United States. While they all differ slightly in their design and focus, they all ask questions about a wide range of topics, from employment, education, health, household income, and social attitudes to the same panel members over time. So a wide range of research questions can be answered using these data sets. The other common type of longitudinal study is the cohort study, for which measurement occasions are commonly known as sweeps. These follow a cohort of people who have a certain event in common that is relevant to key outcomes. For example, the Millennium Cohort Study follows a group of people born in the year 2000. The longitudinal study of young people in England follows a cohort of school pupils from a particular year. The National Child Development Study has been following a cohort of people born in a particular week since 1958 and has 9 sweeps so far, the last in 2013 when the panel members were aged 55. Sweeps tend to be less frequent than waves in panel studies, as the goal is to measure across whole lives. That way we can see links between factors in early life and later life, particularly with respect to health outcomes. Cohort studies, therefore, tend to have a membership of people who are the same age as each other at each sweep. Panel studies, on the other hand, typically sample from across the whole population of interest and include respondents of all ages. In both designs, observations are repeatedly captured for the same individuals. We can therefore think of observations as being nested within individuals. This has implications for how we analyse the data, as there are specific methods which take account of this design. Panel studies are often designed to look at topics like the dynamic of poverty, movements in and out of the labour market, and demographic change. For example, if we want to know whether people are more satisfied with their job if their pay increases, we will need to measure earnings and job satisfaction repeatedly to see if reported job satisfaction increases when pay goes up. Therefore, many questions reoccur. Some core questions, such as marital status, are asked at every wave. Others are rotating questions, which come round, say, every second or third wave, for example. There may also be some questions that are only asked once, for example, if there were an event such as a referendum. Because cohort questionnaires are designed to capture questions at different life stages, the questions will need to be appropriate. For example, the National Child Development Study asked about family background and child health in the early sweeps, while later sweeps asked questions appropriate to adults, such as economic activity. This allows cohort studies to explore long-term effects, such as the effect of family background on later employment, or the effect of early health behaviours on health outcomes in later life. Both types of longitudinal data allow us to understand the temporal order of events in a person's life, allowing us to understand whether, for example, ill health results in unemployment or vice versa. These data therefore allow us to understand the life course and the interrelationship between life events, behaviours, preferences, and later outcomes that affect people's life chances and well-being. The data enhance our ability to make causal inferences by controlling for unobserved heterogeneity. In this video, we have summarised the difference between longitudinal cross-sectional surveys. We've looked at panel and cohort designs, noting differences in samples and questionnaires. And we've identified some benefits of these powerful surveys.